Okay, it's 3:58 and I just saw her on the premises, so I'm walking down here to meet Miss Kelly Kruger in order to get my medical care and the videotaping, the receipt of it. Either that or the denial. Hello.
I'm sorry that you're sick.
I brought some pee because, like I said, I've been peeing in a bottle. Because, you know, I've been so ill and everything else.
Okay.
And I don't know if Mr. Yamaguchi told you, but, you know, I went...
He's with me today. He's a journalist, actually.
All right, Mr. Garza.
Just to let you know.
I don't know if I'm willing to be subjected to this. A journalist?
Well, this was his day to do a ride-along with me.
And who are you a journalist for?
I'm an independent journalist. This is for Vice.
And this is for Vice?
Vice Media, yeah.
But they won't...
Yes, no, please. I've already been told that, you know, I should contact you in regard to all this. And I believe I sent you guys an email and that there was no response. So if you want to go ahead and be involved, please.
He's actually not going to be involved in... He won't be using anybody's names. But I just wanted you to know who he was.
Just watching. I'm very confused by that. But, well, you know, that's okay as long as I can speak to you about what the issues are, if that's what you're here for.
Yeah, if you don't mind. So, because I didn't want other people to get videotaped. Would that be all right?
No, this has never been about getting in somebody else's. That's, you know that that's not an accurate representation. It's just about me videotaping the person I'm interfacing with. You know, it's not about, you know, trying to get in somebody else's space. If you look at the 400 videos, you'll notice that that's, you know, it's very obvious, you know, that, you know, that section 632 that you quoted me, that of course, you haven't heard anything from the city attorney yet, right?
Okay, so let's talk about why you're here right now instead of all this other stuff.
You mean the other stuff that affords me to be able to trust you when you haven't answered these questions priorly? Is that your representation?
I don't agree with what you're saying to me.
So you didn't tell me you were going to contact the city attorney over section 632 and all these other things?
Yes.
As far as videotaping?
Yes.
So what do you mean you don't agree? I'm confused.
I'm saying the way that you're presenting what it is. So what I can tell you, even though I know that you have already been told this, is that you are not allowed to videotape outside of any of the Department of Public Health medical clinics.
You mean on the public street outside, I'm not allowed to videotape? Is that your representation?
Outside of the clinic, because you know that people line up for the drop-in clinic time.
So let me see if I've got this right. On a public street, you know, I can't even videotape either per your representation.
I'm saying that in front of the Department of Public Health medical clinics, you cannot videotape because people are lining up for the drop-in.
Well, you know, I went there today, and that's a lovely supposition, and there was nobody lined up there today. As a matter of fact, if you know, when I post the video, you'll see that not only was there nobody lined up today, but when I asked for people to come out and help, you know, they were very reluctant. They didn't give me their name. They didn't perform correctly. But, you know, when medical law doesn't have to be enforced, sort of like what we're going through right now with the, you know, the letting of airbub, you know, when the laws don't have to be enforced, you know, it doesn't matter. The same thing here with this medical law and the fact that my ADA rights have been consistently violated because, you know, I've got the records of me seeking health care prior to videotaping, requesting programmatic access, doing everything correctly, and still being denied. You know, the representations which have been made by myself are fully substantiated by all the videos and all the paperwork I have, in addition to having been already priorly harmed by the city and county of San Francisco with a signed confession for having broken federal emergency law in 2001 against me, in which I took them to federal court. They testified and had my case fraudulently dismissed to sign a confession 4 years later, the only one of its kind through the Office of Inspector General, admitting fault and guilt. However, I realize I can only be wrong. You know, and that's exactly why I'm here. You know, now, are you telling me right now that I'm not going to receive medical care because if I don't put away my video camera, I will be denied medical care at San Francisco Emergency?
So Mr. Garza, first of all, I want to say that I'm concerned about what medically is going on for you right now. and I really think that you need medical treatment. If the symptoms that I was told are happening, you really need to be seen by a physician.
It's too bad that when I went to the Tom Waddell, not only were you not there, not only the fact that, I was told that somebody would be there from the Northern Station on civil standby and that didn't happen. It's too bad that there was nobody there to protect my rights as opposed to the sheriff, which could only violate my rights because he's only there for public safety, the illusion of public safety, and not the performance of citizens' rights, It's really too bad.
I told you that I wasn't available till 4 this afternoon because I had things scheduled all day long. So I'm here now.
Okay, then answer the question, please. Will I be seen and be allowed to videotape? And if not, let me know now because if I have to make a choice between, videotaping and following up on what I'm legally entitled to, and your misrepresentation as the CIT officer, as a member of the mental health board, and as the San Francisco Psych liaison, madam, I will make the right decision.
Okay, so what is going on here is you are correct. You're not going to be able to videotape inside the emergency room or inside inside of the...
So even after the fact that I've informed you, the city attorney, and everyone else, including the Department of Public Health, that under ADA Title II, that this videotaping has been requested through programmatic access, which allows just such a thing. And by the way, where is an ADA representative here so that we can broach this subject?
So as we've said prior, we've consulted with our ADA coordinator, and she said that we did not need to have a representation of an ADA person during...
Let me see if I've got this correctly. I'm a disabled person asking for ADA representation and help, and you're telling me that you've spoken with your people who said that one does not have to be present or available to me. Is that your representation, please?
I have to say that I have a hard time understanding if you're in so much distress and need assistance, why you don't allow anyone to help
Assistance? Is that like a year ago when you abandoned me and you still haven't come clean about that? Assistance? Please, let's get down to definitional meanings because, this wordplay, especially, emergency services, programmatic access, ADA, disability rights, it's obviously wordplay too. A highly trained CIT officer, a member of the mental health board, and the San Francisco Psych liaison, you are correct. I will probably die from lack of care. But here's the samples, and I leave them so that they can be taken in and people can realize just how sick I am and how much my life does not matter. Being dead right, having a signed confession, never having been arrested in my life, seeking emergency services in this hospital, full circle.
We're not going to be taking the urine into the hospital.
That is your choice. I believe that under Impala, being on a 250 radius of the hospital and everything that I've informed you, you have a duty, but you've ignored all your prior duties to me because of your interpretation or what you've been advised to do or not to do in clear violation of all of my medical rights, legal rights, humane rights, and civil rights. I thank you for that. And my next question to you is, when are we going to have this meeting so that I can go over your abandonment?
I'm not going to have a meeting like that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, dear sir. Please, I've emailed you guys advice, whatever needs to be done. If the question comes down to, whether I'm willing to give up my life for my principles, every day, any day, today. And apparently you guys are willing to deny me emergency care because I am not allowed to videotape the receipt of my own health care, seeking that under programmatic access, Title II of ADA. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day. God bless. So, it looks like there's no hope.